Hello, this is the TradeType U.S. Stocks, Futures, and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, April 16th, basically tax day, tomorrow's tax day, 2023, and ending Friday, April 21st. So this will be options expiration week for April. It is not a triple expiration week, it's just a regular expiration. Let's get to it. Got the dollar index here. Slipped a little bit this week. Still not a lot of action in the Forex side. It's hard to get too excited about it. This isn't where the money is being made. We got the pound dollar. Did nothing net for the week at all. The euro dollar, the inverse of the dollar index, basically also did nothing for the week. Got the pound yen. Look how flat that is for 5 days in a row. It's just ridiculous. So let's get out of Forex, start talking about the stuff that's moving. Here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. No new counts underway for a sell signal. We've always got a breakout point above the 40, I don't know, call it 42.50 or so. If we can get up there, I guess the number's 42, 46, 25. Let's check this one back here, 42, 43. Yeah, so it'll be 42, 46, 45. That would be a 6-month breakout. It looks like decent construction, but there's just a lot of things going on right now that don't make you feel solid about what's going on in the economy. So we'll see what happens there. Here's the S&P cash, same deal. Obviously should pretty much mirror the futures. NASDAQ 100 has held up better, and there's some stuff there. Obviously, a little breakout point potentially. It's already above. Yeah, I mean, this could be interesting. The construction looks good. The fundamentals of the economy necessarily do not, with all the banking problems and the car loan problems and what's going on with Russia and China now and all this other stuff. So, it's just going to be really interesting. It's actually interesting to see it hold up this well to begin with. The Russell 2000 has not made it back as strong. It's still in the lower half of the last 8 months. So not much there. Crude oil sitting back at $82.44 after dipping down in the 60s. Gold near highs. So there's obviously that. In terms of some more stuff, Bitcoin now at 30,370. So Bitcoin back on the rise. More than doubled in the last 3 months. To TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, dead flat. Not doing too much here. The VIX breaking down to 17.07. This is the lowest the VIX has been in over a year. So there's no volatility in the market. That is the problem. And again, with all this stuff going on, it's hard to believe that this is actually the case. The advanced decline ratio on the New York was negative on Friday, but still the 10-day moving average is positive. It was positive most of the week. Trend closes at basically at 1, and we got the 10-day moving average. No, 10-day moving average is at 1, closed at 0.86. Didn't quite get under the 10-day moving average, which is the orange line, did not quite get under the blue line, which is 0.85. That would be a sell signal in the broad market. But keep in mind, big number is about to drop off up near 3, and that could do it. And that could be our signal, finally, for the markets. In terms of what happened intra-week, here's the ES in the 5-minute candles. And as you can see, sometimes it's easier to put these, by the way, at 10-minute candles and then take the chart and zoom it out a bit. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, it was a fairly flat week. Net, we were up about 20 points on the S&P. Monday gap down, closed about where we would before. Tuesday, very flat, closed where we were before. Wednesday, gap up, bounced around, closed a little bit lower. Thursday, small gap up, closed higher finally for the week, and then Friday came back a bit. So not super interesting there either. NASDAQ 100 literally closed about where it opened for the week. So it's just been very uneventful week again, unfortunately. Apple down 21 cents on Friday. Amazon up a tiny little bit. I think it was a couple pennies. I mean, again, this is just weird stuff, right? Big stocks not really making any moves. Meta's the one that's on the rise. Google looks like a nice breakout potentially on Google. That one's more interesting than most. Goldman Sachs, here it is. Not much here. Netflix closes dead flat for the week. There's just no action. Tesla dead, Nvidia dead, Zoom dead. I mean, these are your big stocks that usually move and nothing's going on. So there's really not a lot to say about most of this stuff. We're going to just have to keep waiting for these moves. It's a strange time of year for the market to be dead, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. In terms of economic data coming out this week, Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday here in the U.S. China's got some numbers coming out going into Tuesday. Almost no U.S. data. Housing starts and building permits an hour before the bell on Tuesday. That's it. So we're all the way into Wednesday at this point. Wednesday, again, crude oil inventories at 10:30, but nothing else here in the U.S. CPI out of Europe and the U.K., but not much else here. So we're just not seeing anything exciting. The CPI out of the U.K., by the way, expected to be 9.8%. Thursday here in the U.S., the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, existing home sales, CB leading index, natty gas, and then Friday, flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. This is a light week for data on top of the fact that Friday is options expiration, which means we should get the unraveling move Wednesday, maybe Thursday. If we even get one, it's not a triple expiration, like I said. So with the data that's coming out, I wouldn't say there's anything super exciting. Which is really disappointing. It's tax day. Now remember that typically tax day is like a turning point in the markets, right? So if you've been heading up ahead of April 15th because people are depositing, they can still put money into their IRAs until then from the prior year, and the money goes usually into the small caps, which have not been rallying because of the bank problems. Then that kind of reverses after that. But at the same time, the rest of the market has been moving up, so that could be a downward reversal. Once again, very confusing year from that perspective. We'll just see how it plays out. Charts as usual, brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you've not yet taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.